Hi guys, Happy New Year. Well, fingers crossed, eh? We're all going to have a better one this year, hopefully. Anyway, let's crack on. Today's probably going to be a long one. I've been toying with an idea for a few days. I haven't really done a dry run. I've just played around with some ideas. So, it's going to be in a couple of stages, and what we're going to try and create is this. So I'm going to make a pendant, and the background is going to be some copper mica shift. Then I'm going to use my extruder and make a tree of life by twisting the pieces together, and then we're going to inset that into a bezel, for want of a better phrase. So we're going to make the inside first, bake it, then we can polish it, make it nice and bonny before we set it in the bezel. And that's just to remind me that I want to put a polymer clay bale on the back, because I don't want to spoil the look of it by drilling a hole in it. So this is what we're going to attempt. So fingers crossed we'll do it together. So what you're going to need is some metallic clay to make a mica shift, or use, you may have some cane that you could use, or you could just do some marbled colours, whatever you want to do, guys. I'm just going to do a mica shift because I've still got this bit of copper left. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this rubber stamp to make the pattern. I just thought the leaves would go nice with the tree. So that'll be for my mica shift pendant. Then you're going to need some clay to make your extruded pieces. I'm going to just use my little green extruder, and we're going to be using the teeny tiny holed ones that we used in the videos from last year now, from last year. So we need a bit for extruding, and some to make our bezel with, and I'm going to use two cutters, this smaller one to make my inside from the copper, and I'm just going to use the outside to form my bezel. I find that easier. If you haven't got any cutters that are so close in shape, you could just do it by hand, cut around by hand and stuff. I'm not too good at fiddly bits, so I'm just going to use these two cutters, which should just leave me a nice bezel around the outside. And I think that's it, guys. Yeah, so extruder, your clays, whichever you want to use. If you're doing a mica shift, obviously you're going to need something to make your pattern, and that's it. So I'll get these conditioned, and we will do the mica shift first, and while that's in the oven we can move on and make some of the other bits. So I'll just go and get these bits softened up because they've been sat on my desk a while, and then we'll do the mica shift. So I'll see you when I'm in. Okay guys, I've conditioned this little piece of clay. I'm just going to give it a burnish, because even though I'm going to be pressing into it, I just want to make sure it's a nice smooth surface. And like I say, I'm going to use these leaf patterns, and I'm going to use this on these texture treads. You've kind of got the relief and the embossed and debossed side, and I'm going to use the debossed, whichever side. I'm going to use this side. I'll just get my talc and put a little bit of talc on just to be on the safe side. Don't want it getting stuck. That should do it. And I'm just going to place this over these leaves here that I like the look of, and just press with my fingers lightly to get it in, and then just a little roll with my roller. To make sure it's firmly pressed in. Let's peel this off, and it has stuck a tiny bit, but it should be okay for what we need. It's just there a little bit, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm just going to do that, then I know it's stuck to my desk. Take my flexi blade and start to shave these raised areas off. I do love this Cernit Formica Shift. It's one of the best clays I've, well, I think most of my clay I'm using these days tends to be the Cernit. I know what, it's easier for me to get hold of it, guys, with being in Europe. But I just love the stuff. There we go. I'm concentrating on the areas that I like the most. I think that'll do it. Let me just, my pendant will sit nicely there. So let's get this burnished. Where's my little burnish thing? There we go. We're just going to give it a little bit more there. There's a bit of a dint. There. That should make a pretty shift. And I'm just going to position my cutter to catch the leaf the best I can. Maybe there. Like that. We'll get this cut out. Get them scraps out the way, then they don't get stuck to anything else. Let's get this picked up. And we'll pop it down, and I will just rub it flat again, just to make sure it's nice and bonny. Got a little bit of a bump there where the cutter was. Just going to run my finger down it and then burnish that edge. There we go, guys. There's my shift centre for my pendant. I'm going to give it a bit more of a burnish. I'm not putting too much pressure on. I just want to make sure that surface is lovely. There we go. There's a bit of something stuck there. Right, I'm going to pop this in the oven. It was on a 0 and it's probably gone down to a 1 or a 2 now. So I'll put it in for 20 minutes, maybe 30. I'll just check it. I'll pop this in. I'll be back in a sec. Hi guys, this is all baked. I've took the liberty of just giving it a quick buff with my Dremel. So this is going to be the centre of the pendant. And so we're just going to make the pendant and the outer now. Let me think. Okay, I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to place I'm going to use a little bit of liquid clay to stick this down to the base, just to be on the safe side. Don't want it popping out, not that I think it would, to be fair guys, because it's going onto raw clay, but I am just going to put a little bit on the back to help. So I'll pop that there. Just give it a little press. Then I'm going to take my cutter and I'm just going to cut the shape out of this piece here. Let's get rid of that. I'm just going to go round. I've just got a little wooden tool here, but it just comes in handy for just smoothing edges off, especially where that little dimple is sometimes with the cutter. And then I'm going to pick this piece up and overlay on my pendant piece, and I'm just going to give it a nudge just to make sure that it's sat nicely, and I'll give it a little burnish just to make sure that it's stuck down. Now we're not going to do we're not going to cut it out yet with the bigger cutter. We're going to lay our tree over it first, so that if there's any tails from the tree, they'll be cut with the cutter, if that makes sense. So I'll just pop that to one side for now. And I've been softening this piece of black to go into the extruder. I'll just unscrew my extruder. Pop my clay in. You don't need a great deal, to be honest. I'm just going to pinch that top bit off. You'll be surprised how little you need to make some sausages. And again guys, you could do this by hand. I'm just not too good at doing sausages. So I'm just going to get myself some sausages going. And once I've got it going, I'll lay them down. And you don't really need them too long either. You know, maybe an inch longer than your pendant. Let's get these unravelled. That's a broken one. So I'm gonna do, not that you can see because black on black, let me put a bit of card paper underneath. So I'm carefully going to separate these little sausages or snakes or whatever you want to call them. I think 9 will be enough. I don't want it to be too thick, but obviously we need enough little branches and things. So what's that, 5, oh, 6, 7, 8, and last one, 9. Just put these other bits to one side. Right, and all I'm going to do now is pick them up, and I'm just going to do a couple of twists for about 1 inch, like so. And then if I bring my pendant in, we'll be able to judge how much we actually need. So there's the tree, the branches. I'm just going to twist this bit a bit more. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I might bring you down a bit further. I don't want to twist too much because I want to be able to separate them. Yeah, they're still separatable. I'm just going to cut this end off and this end off, just so I've got less to handle. I'm just going to lay this over here. Let's bring you down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. There. Let's put it this way, and I'm going to have it on this side, I think. So I'm just going to separate some of these strands from the bottom, just so I can splay out for like a root. So let's move it up a little bit. And see where we want these to go. Maybe twist that one a little bit. I mean, this is just, you know, your interpretation of it as well, guys. So however you want to do this, of course, do. I'm just going to twist a few of these roots and get them bending around a little bit, and then get them to stick down onto the clay like so. That's my root bit. I'm going to turn it around, then it's easier for me. And then for the tree part, let's get some of these separated. Oh, just broke one, but it doesn't matter. There we go. I'm going to give my tree a little bend and then press it down, and then get some of these branches twisting a bit. If I can untwist some of them, getting them separated is the fun bit, because they're all twisted differently. There we go, managed it. Just take your time. You'd be surprised how strong these little sausages are. Let's just separate that one. There we go. Now I can start twisting little branches. I'm just going to put that on there for now. Maybe twist it a bit more. think this one can, oh, come on, separate. It is a bit fiddly, but I'm going to break that off because I don't need all that. There we go. I've got them separated now. Yeah. I'm just turning it, guys, and it's just easy for me to fiddle with. Right, let's get you in position. Separate these two. There we go. Right, I'm going to twist those a little bit and then have them separating off. I'm going to get these two to twist like so. And give this one a little squiggle up there. And I'm going to untwist these two a little bit. Like so. Let's have a look. How do you look? Let's get rid of you up there. I'll just break them too. See if I can get them to untwist a little bit. Nope, I can't. They're stuck together now. It's quite warm in my room again, so I'll just leave them to do that. I might add just a couple of little pieces in, just to make it look a bit more realistic. Pop that little bit there. I'm just gently tapping it down onto the pendant. I'm just going to pop a little bit there to give that a bit of a branch. There we go. And I think a little bit there. Can get it to go on. Oh, it's getting there now, it's getting there. Get a little piece running up from this one. Give it a little kink. I'm just going to bring that one on a bit more. There. Now I know that looks like a bit of a hot mess, but I'm hoping that once we put the cutter over the top, and again guys, you can take loads of time with this, can't you? You know, I've got to think about how long the filming's taking and the such. Right, now I'm going to get my bigger cutter, and I'm just going to have to bring it closer, guys, just so I can line it up. There we go. And I'm just going to cut this out now all the way through. excess off. Just want to make sure that that's properly on. The good thing about having the baked centre is I can now use that to get it out my cutter, hopefully without distorting too much. Come on. Not been much luck with my cutters lately, am I? There we go. I got a bit of a squishy bit there, but I can mould it back with my fingers. There we go. Just make sure that that's I'm just making sure I've not distorted the shape, guys, while I was trying to get it out the mould. There. I've got a little tree of life. Right, I'm going to pop this back in just for 15 minutes so that I know it's bonded, and then we can come back and do the bit on the back that holds the cord, whatever that's called. Just want to smooth that little bit there, that where the cutter was. Just gently pressing on them branches just to make sure that they've bonded. And there we go. I shall pop this in the oven for 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and do the bail on the back. Okay guys, see you in a minute. Hi guys, so this is nice and cool now. Obviously it's only part baked. It's quite hard. It's okay to handle. I just want to put a bail on the back. So I'm just going to, with this bit of scrap, I'm just going to cut myself a rectangle out. I don't want it too big. Obviously it's got to fit on the back of the pendant, but I do want it to be able to fit the cord through. So I'm just gonna let's use a cocktail stick. I'm just gonna bend this around the cocktail stick and get my edges to flap a bit. I will put, I think, a little bit of bakeable liquid clay on, just to be on the safe side. I can't even open it. Oh, and that's way too much. Just put a little smidge on the edges, just to make sure that it does stick well. And I'm going to pop it as high up as I dare. Sorry, I know my hands are in the way. Yeah, I'm just going to pop it up as high up as I dare, and just make sure that that hole be suitable for a pendant. And I'll just get a ball tool and just press it down into the clay to make sure that it's bonded. And that should be fine. Just smooth that edge out a bit. It's a bit rough and ready, that one, guys. You take your time and make a neater one, but that should be plenty for my cord to pass through. So I'm going to put this now onto some scrumpled kitchen paper so it doesn't get a shiny spot. Just balance it on there, pop it back in the oven now. I'll do half an hour, then I know that everything is truly baked up, and we'll come back, and I need to tidy these edges up a little bit, I think. We'll come back when it's baked. See you in a minute. Hi guys, here it is. I think I could have made these a little bit more twisty, but for my first go I don't think it's a bad one. I've just got some more clay out actually. I might try it with a different one. I'll put a photo in if I do. But yeah, for first attempt I don't think it's bad. I got the idea from it was actually a wire wrapped pendant. I've done a few of these trees and I just thought it might work with polymer clay using the extruder. So there you go. I'm just gonna there's just a couple of rough bits on the edge that I'm just gonna take off with my little files. It is a little bit rough and ready. But it's okay. Let's just give it a wipe, get that dust off. The tree itself is bonded really well. That's the only thing I was concerned about, is would that stick, but it has, and there's no sharp bits for it to catch on anything. Like I say, to do it again, I think I'd maybe splay the tree out on a piece of paper and then lift it on, then I don't get this tangling that I got when the clay got warm in my hands. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with it, how it looks. The concept is a good concept, I think. It works. I've just got a cord here. It's one of those rubber cords with a magnetic clasp on. I just glue it on. I think it needs something a bit thicker on this. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. Like I say, I'm probably going to do a silver one. I might film it. I'll see how I feel in a bit. I'm going to just have a bit of lunch. So I may film it and show it the day after if I have a go, because it's a shame not to show you guys while I'm making something. But I hope you like that. Just something a bit different for the new year. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you all soon. Bye guys.